Hi everyone, it's time to talk about .NET MAUI again. One of my most popular videos is the one about building custom controls. And if you want to learn building your own custom controls with .NET MAUI, I recommend you to take a look at that video, because that video will go deeper into a bit about what I will show you today. But the focus today is more about how to be productive when you're working with the .NET MAUI app. So if you want to have access to all the code I show here, you can go and be a gold member of my channel. And if you became a silver or gold member of my channel, you will also get early access to videos. And most important of all, you're supporting the channel. So the idea about this video came up when I went back to one of my, I will not say old apps, but one of my apps that I work with, where I have a lot of duplicated code. I have a vertical stack layout and I added label, entry, label, entry, label, entry. So instead of that, I should have created my own controls so I can use them everywhere in the app, because that makes me more productive. And think about, if you are in a bigger organization that maybe have multiple apps, then you can use your control library in all of those apps. Just create a NuGet package. But I recommend you to start developing the library inside of one app that you have, but you add the controls or components, if you like to call them that, in a separate project, so you can break things up and add them to a different repository later if you want to. So I will open Visual Studio. And here I have created an app, and what I talked about that I found in my old app is, like I did like that, label, text is first name, for example, and then I added entry, and then I added a label again, label, text, last name, and an entry. And then I did that on all of the pages where I had a form, but not only with forms, other things that I wanted to look a specific way. So, and here we're not talking about styling components. Here we're talking more about grouping things together. Should be more productive. I mean, this can be an input control or a my text box control, as you can see I created here. But when doing this, I recommend you to create a new project, and the type for that will be a MAUI library. So we go here and add new project, and here we can see that we have a specific template for that called .NET MAUI class library, and that is in my recent project templates list. But if you want to find it yourself, just search for MAUI here, and it will show up. So MAUI Net app, that if you create an app, but here you have the .NET MAUI class library. So create one of that. You can give it a name, what .NET version it will run on, and so on. But okay, I already created that project. So take a look here at my text box control, for example. So here I have a grid, I have a label, I have the entry, and I also added an image, an error indicator. And that means that I can have this look exactly as I want. And every time I want to use this, my text box control, I will have all this functionality built in, instead of creating it for every time I will have an entry. That will take a lot of time. And when you want to change something, you maybe want to change this image, you want to have something else indicating error, or you want to remove it, or yeah, you understand. Then you just have to do it on one place if you have created a custom control. And if you are using a component library from Telerik, Syncfusion, some open source, I also recommend you to wrap them inside of an own control, because that means that you can add functionality, but the most important part is you can easily replace them. If you want to have another control, you can replace it in the control library without changing your app code. Okay, there are a lot of stuff that you need to do. You need to create your bindable properties yourself and so on. But in the end, it's worth it. on my employer I work for now, we have built this library that we are using in all of our application, and we have saved a lot of time by working that way. So if you want to know more about bindable property, creating controls, please take a look at that video I talked about in the beginning of this video, building your own custom controls with .NET MAUI, one of my most popular videos. So go and look at that one, and I will go deeper inside of that. So when you want to use this control, of course, you need to add a dependency to the project. So here you can see we have beproductivedemo.controls, and when we go back to main page here, we need to add the namespace, of course, and controls, just like that, and hopefully the IntelliSense will help us find that library. Yes, so just like that, and here we can see, because it is in another assembly, it will also add the assembly name here like this. So now when we want to use it, we replace this with controls, my text box, and here we say text, and then we can add a binding to first name that I have in the view model that I have assigned to main page, and we can do title, first name, and then we can copy this one and we can add last name as well. Last name. And then we can add the last one, controls, my text box, text, binding, email. And here you can see here a type of text, email, and that means that I have built-in validation into this control. Title, email. So, and now we can go and run this app. So let's run it on Windows. So here we now have the app, we have those fields, we have first name, last name, email. So we can write Daniel here, for example, Henriquez, and we can start to write an email. Okay, that's not a valid email, but if we write YouTube at henriquez.se, now it's valid. So, and then of course you can style this however you want. And as you can see, I also created another control that I called my card.saml. And what I will show you here is that you can have different type of controls. You can have just like this, that you add data in with properties, but you can also use a control that have content itself. So I can wrap all those text box with my card, and I can also have a title with a property and create user, for example, and then we take this and we add it in the end of the stack layout. And now we can take a short look about my card, and here you can see we have a control template and we have a frame inside it, and it should have shadows. So let's run it on Windows again. And here the app is, and now you can see that we only have the email field, the last field that we added, and that is because of that I said that this control can only have one child, and that means that we need to go and add a vertical stack layout here as well, a vertical stack layout. And close that in the end, like that, and then we restart the app and see if this works. Yeah, it does. Yeah, and here the app is, and we have all the fields. So that was my tip of the day, how to be more productive when you're working with .NET MAUI. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you not already do that, and if you want access to the source code, be a gold member, and you will also get early access to my videos when you became a member, independent on what level you chose, and you're supporting the channel. See you next time, bye bye!